Beric and Tormund alive? Of course they're still alive, but where did they go and what will their role be in season 8? The last time we seen Beric and Tormund Giantsbane, they were looking at the Night King attack the wall at Eastwatch. It's almost like, how can you survive that? But they most definitely survived. First off, Beric is being kept around as a plot device, and if he's been kept around this long, I mean, he died in a storm of swords. That's 2 books. Actually, if you count Winds of Winter, it would be like 3 books ago. So if they've kept him around this long, then he has an important role to play on the show. At least logically, but you never truly know. But let's talk. So the wall has 19 castles. If we look at this map, about here is where the Night King infiltrated. Out of these 19 castles, we know for sure that 3 of them are manned. Shadow Tower, Eastwatch, and Castle Black. This is due to dwindling numbers of the Night's Watch and the expense of running and maintaining 19 castles. But in the books, Jon has started to re-garrison most of these castles. Most of these castles have men in them. He gave the Night Fort to Stannis, Oakenshield to Tormund. We saw the show do a rendition of this early in season 7.
And the wall hasn't been properly manned in centuries. I'm not the king of the free folk. But if we're going to survive this winter together,
so the wall runs from Eastwatch by the sea all the way to Westwatch by the bridge. The most likely scenario for survival and logic would have been for Beric and Tormund to run west towards Castle Black. The first castle that they would actually encounter is Greengard. In the books, Greengard is currently manned by Devon Sealskinner, a wildling. So Beric and Tormund can run west towards Castle Black and gather the men along the wall from each castle as they run down the wall. The wall is 300 miles long and even wider than the King's Road in some places. The top of the wall was wider than the King's Road often was, so Tyrion had no fear of falling, although the footing was slicker than he would have liked. The brothers spread crushed stones across the walkways, but the weight of the countless footsteps would melt the wall beneath, so the ice would seem to grow around the gravel, swallowing it, until the path was bare again and it was time to crush more stones. Still, it was nothing that Tyrion could not manage. He looked off to the east and west at the wall stretching before him, a vast white road with no beginning, no end, and a dark abyss on either side. So it's likely they did run west, and it's about 100 to 150 miles to Castle Black. A lot of people seem to try to escape down the wall, down the steps, and it's very possible to go down these steps if you're fast. But then you would have needed to immediately get on a ship and be moving because the Night King's forces came through the wall with haste, and Eastwatch looked to be completely destroyed. So it does look like Beric and Tormund were on the western portion of the wall when it fell and that they barely escaped. It even pans out to show us the walkways atop the wall. But what's interesting is that the Night King rides south. He doesn't fly down the wall and destroy any other castles or anything like that. So Tormund and Beric can gather the strength of the Night's Watch and the wildlings on the wall and head south. But they will be caught behind the Night King's army, unless they can get a ship. They don't even have to go all the way to Castle Black. They could actually exit the top of the wall at any castle depending on where the Night King is and where the Night King is going. They could run to the last hearth, but they'll need horses or something to help them. And I believe that's why they will ultimately go to Castle Black. The Night's Watch is useless at the wall, so I think Beric and Tormund will gather as much men as they can, and they will all try to get to Winterfell, gathering men along the way. I would love for them to gather men from the castles heading south. I would also love for Bran to help them get to Winterfell with ravens, guiding them, helping them in any way he can. But it's winter and hard travels ahead, and Winterfell is a long way off from the wall. Beric Dondarrion in the books gave Catelyn Stark the last kiss, or the kiss of life, which transformed her into Lady Stoneheart. And basically, Beric passed his life force to Lady Stoneheart and Beric died. This happened around the time of the Red Wedding. So for Beric to be alive in the final season of Game of Thrones, it's really weird, which leads me to believe he's a plot device. But what's more likely is that Beric will give someone the last kiss, which I don't know who that would be. But I thought it might be Daenerys that receives the last kiss, because in the House of the Undying, Daenerys is told of 3 treasons. One is a treason for love, which is weird anyway, because how does someone treason you for love? I mean, come on. But if Daenerys was to die, and Jon was distraught and Beric administered the last kiss, that could be looked at as a treason for love because it's basically an abomination. Maybe the treasons aren't anything against her, but treasons that she will commit against other people. For example, Jon doesn't want to be brought back, but if he was to die and Daenerys was to be distraught and Beric administered the last kiss, then Dany will have committed a treason for love. She went against his wishes and brought him back because she loved him. But speaking of that, with what's left of Beric's life essence, I think that anyone that's brought back from his kiss will be significantly changed. But to be honest, I'm not sure what they are doing with Beric, but he is there for some important reason and he will die.
Careful, Beric. You lost your priest. This is your last life.
I've been waiting for him for a long time.
Tormund is still around because he's just a badass. No, but seriously, Tormund is a character that a lot of people love, including myself.
How did a mad fucker like you live this long?
I'm good at killing people.
Tormund is great at killing people. He's shown his prowess in battle time and time again. He defeated Sir Alliser Thorne. He ripped Small John Umber's throat out. He escaped the Night's King's forces at Hardhome and the Frozen Lake. Not only that, he's one of Jon's staunchest allies. I believe he will be with Jon on the front lines when the time comes to fight the Night King. And I think Tormund has to survive. Tormund is our wildling king in a sense. He represents the entire faction of the wildlings, and he's their leader right now on the show, so I think he has to survive this battle for Dawn. I think the wall will be rebuilt, because I don't think the Night King will be completely defeated. I want him to be defeated, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think he will retreat, his forces will be defeated, but I'm not sure that he is going to fall and be dead and be done. I'm not even sure that he can be defeated. However, he will be powerless and sleep under the ice for another 8,000 years, and hopefully there are no idiots like Craster to help him form another army. So I do think the wall will be rebuilt, the magic will be replaced, and Tormund will be the first commander of the new Night's Watch. But what do you think? Are Beric and Tormund alive, and what roles do they have to play in the wars to come? As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone that supports me on Patreon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and join the Sweet Summer family. Okay, my sweet summer children, have a good day.